Alright, so this is part 2. We've watched the first replay from our dude over here, our Night Elf AIDSxo. He's against CawillZ this time around. And let's see what happens. The last time, just a reminder, so we had DH not when he knew that the Undead already had an expo, and he did not go for an expo himself. He went for fast tier 3 into 2 lores. My concerns were basically get an expo and not tier 3 as fast. If the Undead already has an expo, for sure you don't want to not have an expo on your own. Also, just a little bit of micromanagement in the items. Let's see what we have this time. So I'll speed it up a bit. Let's just see if there is a constant. If we see the same situation, so yes, we see the H first. Again, and should have more creeping, that's totally fine. We have this guy coming in at 40 something lumber. Getting wisps. So far so good. We have a scout, okay. That is a graveyard,
have
so
engaged the enemy.
Go quickly over everything. That's not a deny. Perfect. So let's lower the speed a bit. Straight harass. Not creeping level 2 or level 3. I prefer that. You would have known in this case if you did go for an expo or not. He is not. Which is good for your strategy for going tier 3 quick. Bear dryads.
I stand ready.
It's good for one base, one base. We know also that he does not have the aura first, so he could have at least used his coil, but we're not coaching him, we're looking at you.
Your building is complete.
Now you've both basically lost all of your mana. The thing is, you're gonna regenerate it through the mana wheels, moon wells. Not as efficient if you get mana, but still, you're creeping his side aggressiveness. I like it. You know, he has now a lot of goals. What it says is basically, yeah, he probably wants to get even more goals.
Upgrade finished. Your building is complete.
With goals, he can creep the expo and have a lot of lumber from towers and all.
Ready.
Going for boots. Okay, again, that's another choice. You made this choice again the other game. You had boots as well. Now, boots is strong when you're level 3 and you want to get a fast level 3. This Ancient of War over here is not getting archers anymore. Wake him up, maybe put it here, maybe put it here for the expos to be coming, put it here to protect an expo if you put it there. This Ancient of War at the moment is completely useless. As an item, you can use that to your advantage. Your buildings move, they are HP, they do regenerate HP pretty quickly when they use the tree. Small details, I don't think the 1300 will do this properly, so no worries about that. So far so good. Items are there, you have a staff already. You're creeping your opponent's sliding, that's great. Now, let's step a bit there. I would have checked if he has an expo. With all those ghouls, usually they have an expo. He also has a tower early, so yeah, whatever. Let's take a look. Does he have an expo? That, I believe you can do. Creeping, whoops. DH is full item. Doesn't have a spot for anything else. How can you pick the item that you just creep? You can manage that prior to creeping, but that's a constant. You've had kind of this same issue with the items on your heroes. You're not 100%, so you're very aware of your buildings and your macro and your tech and your stuff and your upgrades and all, and your food. Like right now, you're getting your other moonwell before you get food stock again. I've never, so far in the 2 games, had you food locked. So that's good, but your items. That's now a big part. I see a big part now. Microing the archers away using pitfall. Okay. But potentially just picked it up with the Naga. What is the strategy here? You're outnumbered.
The great
Whoa,
outdoors.
whoa, whoa! You're full item. That gets worse. You're full item. You know it because you couldn't pick the item up. No way. So you gave your opponent a staff.
Your building
No,
is
you picked
complete.
it up with the. Okay, you picked it up with the Naga again. Whew. You didn't give the staff away. Oh, a Dryad scouting.
Your building
Let's
is
see if you had
complete.
an expo maybe. Tier 3 coming
Research
in, more
finished.
Dryads. There's a bear research.
Research finished.
But now, okay,
the
now you
great
should see the
outdoors.
gargoyles. You don't exactly want to have roar, but you want rejuve if you go
Upgrade
bears.
finished.
Now this Dryad could have
the
even scouted
great
if there's an expo
outdoors.
here, or this wisp, it's already there.
the
It's
great
a good wisp to
outdoors.
scout. What's happening? You're waiting. It's been a while now that you're in base. You have this scream camp you could have crapped. Going for the expo.
the great outdoors. the
It's
great
fine if
outdoors.
it takes a bit of time to manage. Whoops. Send that to the hero. Okay, sell that. That was my evasion. You already have the passive that does it. You already have 15% evasion.
the great
Sell
outdoors.
it. What? Definitely another. So,
Research finished.
still no expo, but it's fine because we don't know if you have one. You're creeping, that's how you win level advantage. But the item, that's a big deal. What do we have?
the great
Okay.
outdoors.
Claws, it's pretty good on the Naga. So at this point we still don't know if he has an expo. We don't see the trees being all black and all. So that means he probably doesn't have one. Oh, okay, so we know Carrion Swarm. Let's stop here. Ah, no. So we have Carrion Swarm and Vampiric Aura. We saw it with the like the graphics under the Dreadlord, I believe. Or did he just? Never mind, we didn't see that. But for sure, if he went Carrion, he doesn't go sleep at the same time. Anyway, so you don't want to have hippos because they'll lose the fight to gargoyles, and already he has quite a mass. You would like to have a panda, that's what I said last game as well, but at that point you couldn't, no, you didn't have the same signs that he was going for gargoyles. Let's continue. So what did we get? Wow, Ruined Bracer, put that on DH. Another item management thing that you want to do? You don't
Our
seem to
warriors
be
have
doing
engaged
much
the
of
enemy.
that, unfortunately. But it's kind of a big deal. You want your DH as
Your
tanky as
building is
possible,
complete.
if it's not going to be
Your
your damage
building
either.
is
And so far you
complete.
have 2 rings on there, and the Ruined Bracer on the Naga. Not sure you want that on the Naga, really. You want that on the DH. And you buy the orb, so you know it's an important item, but will you put it on the DH?
the great outdoors.
Also, before that, you had enough of a small army to just put it all on Team 1, for example. It's simpler. I like that you pick Team, for example, 2 or something, a second team for your Dryads, but you could put all your Dryads and your Naga on the same team, for example.
Research
Have your
finished.
DH, so if you want that. Of course, you can use F1 as well, so you're losing an item over here because you're full. You have 12 items on 2 heroes. You could have simply put one down, sell it, 5-10 seconds maximum, and it's worth the, what, 70 something gold? Okay,
the great outdoors.
That's another problem last game is the focus. I want you to focus a single unit at a time, a single Dryad at a time. You're controlling the hero, you're focusing the DH, and then you're focusing the guard, okay, but I want you to focus these gargs. Let's make sure this one dies. You killed the DH, sorry, you killed the DK, but this garg survived. Okay, it's a better trade in the end. You did well, you focused the hero instead, you got what you came for. Pretty good. Pretty good. Now I'll leave the items out of the question, maybe I'll summarize at the end and put it back on, but this is a problem still. It has not been fixed. You're tier 3, you're 49 food, you're under 50, you're getting units, you have upgrades. Wow, okay, already 3 attacks, that's good. Oops, you have a little dryad over there. I wonder if you'll
The great
realize.
outdoors.
Now what do you get? Okay. You should have again sold the Talisman of Evasion, that's pretty big deal. And put the Runed Bracer on the DH. Fighting come. Okay, good. You scout. Now he's getting an exp. You have an info, you gotta use it. You're focusing the DK super hard. That's good because you can kill the bitch because the DK is out of mana. So you decide to TP instead, but you had the staff. You could have used the staff. It's fine. Also, you could have had you could have stayed in the fight if you had these defensive items on the DH. So now what are we doing? Still no expo, which I would consider a mistake due to your gold and you're just going over 50 food. You would like to have the expo before going to over 50 food. You have the gold and the wood for that. You have the resources for an expo. So maybe send the Wisp over here, 2 protectors, a Tree of Life, or maybe here, 2 protectors. You would end up at 50
great
food again.
outdoors.
And in my opinion, you would have enough to defend because he doesn't have an expo for a while, for a long time already. He has invested more than he has gained so far, and even with those 2 ziggurats, you for sure know that he has invested more. Right. Just focusing the Naga with the gargoyles. I want you to focus 1 unit at a time, get levels. Pretty good. I don't see you using your Dryads a lot. Okay. It was an A-click over there. You're attacking. Doesn't matter, it's just a lightning. It's not doing any damage to your units. You're gonna win this. He's stuck. He has no mana on any of his heroes. He has a TP on the DK with 4. You're winning this. As I mentioned the other game, I wanted you to get more Dryads. Of course you couldn't listen to this video because I'm posting it as of this moment. But you're getting more Dryads. That's the exact thing you needed to do. You're gonna win this game for sure. That's still some stuff to work on that will help you on all the games you'll play. Your items. And to get an expo, if the opponent has one as an Night Elf, it's basically a need. If you go DH, if you go Keeper, of course you can pressure the expo, you can come from behind with the Force of Nature. With DH, you want levels. That's what you want. Levels, levels, levels. And dude, good job. Really, you're not gonna be 1300 or 1270 for a long time. You're gonna go up. You have a strategy. This time you adapted it. You did go adept bears. You didn't get a single bear, which I like, because you had the pressure and you had the levels. And in theory as well, you had the items, which unfortunately you didn't use properly, efficiently, I should say. But that's something you can definitely work on. You have the rest so well planned ahead and so well done. So good job.